case tournament for Flames of Destruction, we have Julie with World Chalice and Patrick with ABCs. So, two new decks we have not seen all day. And these are two pretty veteran players. Patrick just coming off a big win at the case tournament. Or, actually, it was a Switch tournament. It's a big tournament yesterday at another local store. Winning it with ABCs. So that's pretty interesting. And Julie here, coming down all the way from West Palm Beach to play in our case tournament. So shout out to her. And she's coming out here with World Chalice. I want to say this is like the older Knightmare, because I feel like Knightmares are like getting to this point where you're just like, it's a very link reliant deck, and they live and die by the link. I really don't think these decks can do anything without linking, but this deck in particular makes some pretty scary boards, especially with this little guy right here, the Arum. Him being able to recur a Babushka during your opponent's turn, and then the Babushka dying on your turn in order to let you play without being Babushka under Babushka is something that's huge. And that's just like one of the many plays that they can make. But Julie starting off here pretty strong, and bringing out a Transmodify to bring out a level 3 Venus from the deck. I think she went ahead and used those Shine Balls already at the beginning of the game. But she's going to make an Ib. Okay, so she did not use any of the Shine Balls. She just used a normal monster at the beginning of the game to make the Arum. So this Venus is going to be pretty big because it will bring out Shine Balls in order for Julie to make her Link 1. And this is the World Chalice Amduck. It's a really weird name. It's like Amaduck. But this World Chalice deck is very powerful. Like I said, being able to make pretty annoying boards. And she's going to use that third Mystical Shine Ball and link it away with the Amduck for a Proxy Dragon. That's pretty interesting. As you can see here, this is one of the many decks that can make the U formation as well. Like me and Eric were talking about a little bit earlier today. Ooh, and now Julie down with the Ningarusu. I think that's one of the most powerful cards that you can actually make. It's usually good dealing with a deck with a deck's board. Like if they make a board, Ningarusu is very good at like removing any type of threats on board. But I don't know how good it is going second. Yeah, Ningirisu drawing the amount of World Legacy cards that this card points to. So it's actually really good in Julie's deck in particular. Usually you saw a lot of decks that weren't World Chalice playing Ningirisu at the beginning, but now I think that card is like really just phased out, and I think you only see it in dedicated World Chalice builds just because it can draw you cards, and it could also have removal. it has the ability of once per turn you can send one card from each player's field to the graveyards. If this card is sent to the field to the graveyard, you can special summon one World Chalice monster from your hand. So all the World Chalices, I believe, have that last line of if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon a World Chalice monster. Ooh, sorry, Yuja, very powerful in the World Chalice deck specifically, just because you have make so many links. Once you bring out a link, if it's a link 2 or above, that usually makes Saryuja just make cost a lot less. And an Exodus, Exodus down for Exodus down for Julie, and that's huge because that's going to be able to shuffle back some cards, some resources, back into Julie's deck, and it's a free special summon. I believe it gains some attack as well. Must be special summoned from your hand by shuffling all monsters in your graveyard into the deck and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When this card declares an attack, send one monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. This card gains 1,000 attack for each normal monster in your graveyard. If this face-up card would leave the field, banish it instead. And the irrelevant part, which Julie does not play, if there's 5 or more forbidden 1 cards in your graveyard that were sent there by this card's effect, you win the duel. So this card is very useful because it does Foolish Burial every attack. And if you do end up sending a normal monster with that effect, then you'll gain 1,000 for each one. And Julie, using the ability of replenishing her resources like Mystic Shine Ball and the other World Chalice vanillas, to actually bring out the Mystical Shine Balls once again. I'm sorry, and extend her plays. Wow, and it looks like she's going to go ahead and make another Saryuja. That is insane. Being able to draw 8 cards in one turn. Just off 2 of those. And Patrick here eagerly awaiting his first turn. This is all Julie's first turn. World Chalice, another deck that can do a plethora of things turn 1. And Julie just deciding what she's going to do next. Patrick taking a moment to read the RM. Julie still deciding what she wants to do next. Looks like she has 5 cards in hand, but she's just going to go ahead and pass a turn. There is an Ash Blossom and a Ghost Ogre and a Trolling Lock. Holy cow. And what looks like to be a Soul Charge also in Julie's hand, which is not going to do her much good right here. I think that's what she was like pausing to just see if she wanted to do, if she wanted to like Soul Charge. But the problem is, because that Exodus put all her monsters back into her deck, it's a good and bad thing. Now the soul charge is not as good, but she was able to reuse that Venus, and she's going to be able to reuse a lot of her resources that she had used essentially at the beginning to make a board. She's going to be able to recycle them now, but I think she wants to wait a little bit longer on the soul charge. It's very good by her, not just trying to throw everything from her hand onto the field and just lose to something from Patrick's side of the board. At least she has some type of follow up if Patrick is able to overcome her board. But it doesn't look like Patrick is going to here. Looking like he kind of bricked. I mean, he did have the terraforming for the Union Hanger, but Julie just had the Drolling Log Bird, so that's another Drolling Log Bird from Julie, though. So it looks like she's just gonna like start going on the offensive, start taking out Patrick's resources, start hitting his life points because that's the only way that it looks like she's gonna win the game here because she does have some heavy hitters here. She's gonna attack with the Saryuja first to hit one of the gadgets. On the gadget effect, she's actually just going to summon the creature. He's gonna summon the creature. She was maybe thinking about ashing it. She's going to attack with the Venus now. Aurum and Yuja are going to go for Patrick's life points here. All right, and then Julie just passing the turn because she doesn't really have anything else that she could do on her turn. I mean, like I said, she has a soul charge. It's not going to do her much good. She wants to utilize her battle phase and just pressure Patrick's life total. But Patrick, with a very limited scope of things to do because Julie has all the hand traps in the world and then in at her disposal, which is pretty unfortunate for Patrick because I don't think he's going to be able to get anything going here. But if you look at Patrick's hand, it does look like he has a Dragon's Ravine, so he might be playing. Let's look at his build right here, actually. Yeah, he is playing a Destrudo. He is playing a Supreme King Dragon Darkworm for the free special summon. That's actually a really cool card that I do like in a non-pendulum deck here. Patrick activating that Dragon Ravine, and Julie just thinking, shuffling around her handful of hand traps, and seeing exactly which one would be the best to play this turn. Now, Julie doesn't want to go and activate 2 hand traps in a turn. You just want to keep it to 1 hand trap a turn and just essentially make each hand trap just to skip your turn. But it doesn't look like Patrick's going to let her do that because he had another card. He had the Union Hanger, which Julie should have known about. I believe that's what Julie stopped him from playing turn 1 after Droll locking Patrick's terraforming. So Patrick's going to go ahead and resolve this upstart. Yeah, that torrential tribute is that was a huge swing for Patrick. He was able to clear out Julie's board, but now Julie has a few different things that she could do. I mean, she still has access to that soul charge. She did top deck a Lee here. Good thing is Patrick has no more back row. His strike and his torrential is gone, which he had in the back row. That Lee getting striked. But Patrick has to be at low life totals here. So if you're Julie, I think what you do here is just play the soul charge, make a board. And she's going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so it is pretty interesting that she gets Ghost over here. Ghost Ogre is actually a pretty good target to get because that particular hand trap can be used from the field or the hand. So Ghost Ogre being on board is actually not the worst thing in the world. She's going to go the route of not making any more link cards. Either A, because she doesn't have too many options left in her link deck, in her extra deck, at her link disposal, or B, because she just wants to put more pressure on the board and just not open her up to any of her plays getting disrupted. I mean, Patrick does only have a few cards in hand, and it looks like Julie does have the Ash for the Desires here, which is pretty devastating on Patrick's end. And Patrick's going to go ahead and scoop it up because that Desires was his final chance of actually getting back into the game with only having one card in hand. So Julie's going to take this one with a very strong start. That was extremely powerful what she did on that turn, on that first turn. Essentially doing exactly what World Chalice wants to do, which is just cycling through everything, not drawing the shine balls, just having the Venus, access to a Venus, having the transmodify to bring out that Venus. Um, you know, like I said, having all three shine balls, going to link monsters, what she needed to do, make a Saryuja. Like she made two of them that game. You know, like that goes to show that with that she saw a minimum of 8 cards, and then she was able to put back 4 cards that were essentially bricks, you know, or something that wasn't very good or what she wanted, you know. Like, so usually why it's so powerful is because it molds your hand. It really just makes your hand into something just much more efficient. Sure, you have to put back 2 cards, but drawing those 4 cards, essentially already just drawing 2 cards, but it's almost just like drawing 4 cards most of the time and not really putting anything back, because what you put back is usually not like in every deck, almost every deck, especially World Chalice, you're gonna just draw some like cards that you don't want, or some cards that aren't as efficient. So in cases like that, you definitely want to. I mean, like it's just so good. It's not just like draw 2. You know, sometimes it just does become an actually just draw 4, even though you're putting 2 back. Just being able to mold your hand was insane, and then Julie just getting hand trap, hand trap, hand trap, and then top decking into another hand trap was just like way too much for Patrick to like to overcome. Even though he almost did with that torrential. That torrential on the A piece, you know, taking out Julie's board was pretty big, but it wasn't big enough. So Alrighty, guys, we are back. Sorry about that. Had to handle something out there on the floor. There was some miscommunication with some judges and players, but we are here in round 4, and we have Julie up 1 game on Patrick's ABC deck. Yeah, there was some judge call action on. Yo, what's up? Oh man, I forgot your name. Far for Yu-Gi-Oh. I can get it. Let me see. I've been out of Yu-Gi-Oh this long. Not here. There we go. Not here. What's up, Not here? He is here joining us in the stream chat. Thank you for joining us today. I've been seeing a lot of people just spam your little table 500 emote. We haven't made any Yu-Gi-Oh emotes yet. We do have some Dragon Ball emotes, so if you guys do want to subscribe to the channel, we'll start making some emotes for Yu-Gi-Oh. We want to start streaming this a little bit more regularly, start getting some emotes, and start doing some pretty cool stuff on the Yu-Gi-Oh end. I know we've been doing a lot of Dragon Ball Super, but yeah, so far so good on Yu-Gi-Oh. We really like this small little rough mock-up that we put up last minute. We really did have plans to do a little bit, do something a little bit more special for the stream, but we didn't have our tech guy available, so we did as much as we could with as little resources as we had, and we still had managed about 50 viewers. Now we're up to, it looks like 132, so that's fantastic. Thank you guys so much for joining on to the stream. This really makes us uh, hopefully put in a lot more interesting things, interesting profile, a lot more interesting events, because we do have Dark Saviors right around the corner. So we do want to put up something really special, like I want to say like release weekend of Dark Saviors. We want to have a big event to help first profile all the new cards that come in Dark Saviors, and two, it's very good testing for a lot of our local players to start going to the next YCS. Next YCS will be in New Jersey. I don't know if there's like an international one like in between then, but from what I know, the next YCS is in New Jersey, and you will be using the Dark Crisis cards. So that's going to be a brand new meta, which is actually surprising. I was talking to Kamal today, and I'm like, that's really weird how they didn't capitalize. They didn't use like a YCS maybe this weekend or maybe like next weekend to use this Flames of Destruction meta. Now you're just going to go into a brand new meta uh, when Dark Crisis, Dark Saviors. I keep calling it Dark Crisis. Dark Saviors hits, and that's going to be really interesting to see because that's you got the highly anticipated. Um, I forgot what they're called. Brandish. There we go. We have the new Brandish cards, and that's going to be like the new Zodiacs, from what I've been hearing. But you know, we'll see exactly how that ends up coming up. Thanks, DGZ Bods. I really love your compliments. They're very flattering. Thank you so much for being an avid fan of the stream. Dice roll format, yeah, absolutely. Hello, Fire Tank too. Sorry, I did not have the chat opened this whole time. Like I said, we're very low on like we were supposed to have so many more pieces for this event, but it ended up falling through a little bit late. And then Eric, like I said, is kind of like delving into casting and doing typed up feature matches. So if you guys want to check out those types of feature matches, contact him. I don't know if he's going to be publishing them. I'll probably have him publish them. I don't know where, but he wants to try it out. And Julie with another soul charge, and you see Patrick's reaction, just slamming his head down on the table. He's like, "Oh, really? This again?" World Chalice is definitely one of those decks where if you see the soul charge, it's just like it's it's so heartbreaking from the other side because you went through all this trouble of breaking their board, and then they have a soul charge as a follow up, and it's just like so insane. Skill sack. I like those little emotes. These are cool. I've never seen these Yu-Gi-Oh emotes. I haven't been in the Yu-Gi-Oh streaming business for a while, as you can tell. But definitely won't be the last time. Thank you guys again for the huge support. And Julie here with A pretty big board because of this soul charge. You can only imagine she only has a few life points left. Soul charge for 5 is definitely the most skillful thing that you could possibly do in this game. And Julie using 4 cards immediately for Saryuja. And that's going to draw her 4 cards and put back 2. Not only that, but one of those World Chalices will add back one of those vanillas, which I can guarantee she's putting back into her deck. And wow, she drew Ghost Ogre, Snow, Droll and Lock, and she just shows it to her opponent. And she just completely wins the game. Patrick's like, I'm done here. I'm done. I'm done. Wow. That was insane. Holy cow. Julie's draws are just like out of this world, and it looks like she might be making it to the top 8 cut. We do have, I believe, 2 more rounds left, but we're going to go back and check out the field and see who we put on next. But that was completely brutal whipping by Julie and her World Chalice deck. Pretty similar to the ass beating that I got at YCS Memphis. I played in a side event against World Chalice, and I got completely dismantled, almost like Patrick just got dismantled against Julie right now. And it was just, I felt like the deck was unbeatable. I was just like, there's no way. I mean, like you're playing so many vanillas in the deck, you have to be drawing some of them at some point. But like I said, quick and easy access to Saryuja just makes it just so much easier for this deck to just flow. So yeah, with that being said, they're going to show the sideboard, show each other, hey, this is what I had against you, yada yada. But wow, that was a very commanding win by Julie. So well, hopefully we'll see her in the top 8 if she does make the top 8. Definitely want to throw her on stream again and see how that deck does against something like maybe Kamal's Spiral, or maybe Geo's Pendulum, or maybe State's Gouki, assuming that they all make it, but they should. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. We're going to be back with round 5. Eric will be joining us. He was using this round to type up a feature match. So he'll be back casting with me and hopefully giving you a little bit more insight on the next round. Thank you guys again for watching. Really appreciate it. And we'll be back after this short commercial break.